Oh, hello there, Wade. How would you like to go for a walk with me in the park?
Going outside is highly overrated.
But going outside is part of being human.
Being human totally sucks. Most of the time.
Well, how about I tell you a secret, and then you come with me?
One person can keep a secret. Two can't.
Well, how about I give you this basket full of tokens? Then you come.
Let's go for the walk.
Hello and welcome to CEAZOR Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Ethereum taking a look at the Index Coop's new product. So before I get into the new product, I'm going to go quickly through the old products and talk a little bit about Index Coop in general. Now, Index Coop was one of the first farming opportunities that I took advantage of, and I was farming the index token by supplying liquidity to a Uniswap pool for the DPI token. So this is the DeFi Pulse. Now, it's a pretty good product. It's basically an index of a whole bunch of tokens that have to do with DeFi. Now, I did make a video of this, but the tokens have changed since then and so forth. So you can watch that video if you want. I'll put a link to it at the end. But know that the opportunity there is no longer really valid. The token balance and all this stuff will be probably very different than what it was back then when I made that video. So they make some products here. Generally they make indexes. So they have all these different indexes and they have this Index Coop governance token. So today we're going to be talking about the Metaverse Index. Now, the Metaverse Index is a new index that they've brought out, and it basically is about the metaverse. Now, if you don't know what the metaverse is, it's basically like the virtual world, places where you can go on the internet and meet people and talk to people and do things on the internet. And this now DeFi and the cryptocurrency have basically allowed it to become monetized. So it's pretty exciting. There's a lot here. There's a lot of products here. You could go through the docs, you could go through this and read this, and it will help you to understand better. But I kind of like this blog post that one of their community members made, and it can be seen here. So I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. I don't really have a whole lot of time to talk about everything, but I will get to this after I talk about the farming opportunity. So if we go to liquidity mining up here, and we can see that they are still running the liquidity mining for ETH and DPI, and it's currently 18% APY, which is not the greatest thing in the world, but this is a pretty solid token. You're pretty safe with it, and it's an index, so it's a little bit, it hedges some of the risk and so forth. And you can earn the index tokens. Now, they are currently also incentivizing this new Metaverse Index. So these are all tokens that have to do with this virtual world and so forth. So currently 55% APY, Again, you're going to have to supply to the Uniswap LP of ETH versus MVI tokens, and you will be earning index tokens if you do so. Okay, so you make that at Uniswap, come here, stake it, and you can claim your tokens whenever you want and unclaim here. Okay, so let's swing over to that article and try to go through this a little bit fast. So this first part here explains what is the metaverse, and there's a lot to it, so I'm not going to really get into it very much. But if you think of Ready Player One, basically, you go into the computer world and you're a person, you have an avatar, you can do things, you can interact with stuff, and you'll get a better understanding of what the metaverse is as we go through this this article here. Now, here are some of the things that they use to select the tokens for the pool. Now, this again, I don't want to read it all very, very, very carefully, but I'll give you some of the things. So first of all, they must be on Ethereum because that's where they run the index. They have these categories on CoinGecko that have that they selected as, so the token should be part of these things. And then they wanted to also make sure that the token wasn't miscategorized for some reason, so they would do like a kind of a qualitative filter after they did this filter by CoinGecko. So as you can see, there's NFTs, non-fungible tokens, some sort of entertainment like gaming and stuff like that, virtual reality, augmented reality, and music. So these are all tokens that have to do with kind of entertainment-based type things. And then they wanted the market cap to be more than 30 million. The protocol has to be at least 3 months old because they don't want rug pulls and so forth. So there must be a reasonable amount of decentralized liquidity. So there has to be a healthy pools in perhaps Uniswap or SushiSwap or something, where they can actually balance these tokens and make swaps and get these tokens without a lot of slippage and so forth. And they also say they want to have a completed independent audit, so some sort of audit done on the protocol so that they know it's a little bit safer than if there is no audit. Okay, so here are the balances, and the thing that makes this very interesting is they don't, they have a community, they have a governance and stuff like that, but they run these tokens, they run these index by a system. They design the system, and the system basically decides the tokens. So it's not so much like, oh, I want this token, let's vote for this token in there. Well, if that token doesn't meet these criteria, it cannot go in there. So that's very interesting. I like this kind of idea. It's very straightforward, it's logical, and it leaves the expert choices to the experts instead of just the person who's like, oh, I've got a big bag of this token, I want it in this DPI, or I want it in this MVI index. Okay, so let's go down and talk about the different protocols that they are covering. Now, again, I can't go into deep. I'm going to go very fast here. Okay, so Engine is one of the very old NFT tokens and NFT protocols that deal with NFTs and digital gaming and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Basically, you can buy NFTs from their marketplace, and you can inject these NFTs into different games. You can maybe farm them, find them inside the games, and take them out to the marketplace and sell them. It's a pretty old protocol, or a pretty old system, I guess you could say, ecosystem. And I've even used the wallet. You can download the wallet on Google Play Store, and that's basically what Engine does. Okay, so they have this Engine token. And the Engine token is used for a lot of things, like mostly for paying for these different things, and you can even inject the Engine token into the NFT. So when they have the NFT, they can dismantle the NFT and get some money out of that NFT. Okay, decentralized or Decentraland, or the Mana token. So the Mana token is used to buy things inside Decentraland. Now, Decentraland is kind of like, if you consider the old game Sims, so it's kind of like walking around the real world. You can buy things, you can build a house, you can buy property, and you can walk around and talk to people. Okay, now there's a lot more to it than that, but you get the idea. There's some casinos in there. You have to build an avatar in 3D world to walk around. It's a little demanding on your computer if you don't have a good computer, but anyhow, you can check it out if you have time. Some of these real world businesses, Kraken and Atari, have built headquarters in Decentraland, so you can go there and perhaps, I don't know if you would talk to a real person, but probably talk to a bot and see, like, this is the Atari headquarters inside Decentraland. Sandbox is very similar to Decentraland, but it has more of a gaming aspect to it instead of just like a world where you can live and walk around. It's more like consider, they say, Minecraft and Roblox. So they're trying to basically decentralize Minecraft. So when you build something in the Sandbox, then you actually own that building or that thing you've built, and it's like verifiable ownership, and you can sell it. And whereas in Minecraft, if you build something, it might be in your account, but you can't just take it to a marketplace and sell it. Okay, so that's the Sandbox. And going down, we have Red Fox Labs. Now, Red Fox Labs is very different than the other ones in this list. It's more like a company that is like an incubator. They call it an incubator, venture capitalist. So they use these RFox tokens to pay for things inside the different protocols or the different systems that they are growing. So let's take a look at some of the things that they have invested in or launched. So they launched like some e-media, like esports and gaming, e-travel, e-commerce. So they're basically they help people with ideas to build things on the blockchain and in the metaverse. So this is an interesting one. So it just says basically that the RFox token here is used throughout the ecosystem, so in a form of payment. So if you're maybe playing in one of these games, playing these video games, you want to buy some skin, or you want to access some special thing, you might have to pay with this RFox token. Anyhow, so let's move on. Axie Affinity and the Axis token is probably one of the most popular tokens or protocols or NFT type gaming systems where basically you farm or you hunt and try to get these little creatures, and you use these creatures to battle each other. You can think kind of like Pokemon, but decentralized and so forth. And there's some very interesting things here where people, like in the Philippines, are able to make more money playing this game than they were if from their COVID relief, grants from the government, the stimulus checks type things. So this is interesting. Like people definitely do like to play Pokemon. It's better than just having a Pokemon. You can actually use it to combat other Pokemons and so forth. That's interesting. Whale is a very interesting one. You can think of it as kind of like MakerDAO, where you would take your NFTs here and you would stick them into a vault and then use that vault to mint whale tokens. And you can use those whale tokens to buy things and invest things and sell it on the market and so forth. This is the way I understand it. There is a whole bunch of things here that you can do with these whale tokens and stuff. So you can take a look at that. You have some specific rights because you're holding the whale token. Like you can buy NFTs, you can participate in the DAO, you can have airdrops and stuff like this. Also, there's all kinds of things you could do with these whale tokens just by simply, if you are a collector of NFTs, you can put them in one of these vaults and get some whale tokens out of it and use them to do things. Okay, Rarible. Now this is a very popular one, and I actually do have a Rarible account. Okay, so here is my Rarible account. One of the first NFTs that I actually made, and I've actually been able to sell some of them, was this Index Tubbies. Back when the DPI was very brand new, I made this Index Tubbies token, NFT token here that you can purchase. Now, I used to shill these tokens a little bit more at the end of my videos, and I don't really do it anymore because nobody's really interested in buying mine because I'm not the greatest of artists. So anyhow, I did do this. I have this Rarible thing, and the Rari token is basically a token that you can use inside of that ecosystem to vote on the governance of the marketplace and its treasury. They do have a fee structure where they collect some fees, and those fees are set into the treasury, and the Rari token gives those people rights to how to deal with that treasury. Okay, so moving down, now we have Meme. Meme is kind of a very interesting one. It came out of a joke, kind of a prank, and it just blew up and people found it to be very popular. Meme is a interesting one in that you can take some of tokens, certain tokens, like the most popular one that I know of is you can use the B dig token. So you have dig tokens set into the B vault or into the Badger set, and it's interest bearing, and then you're basically usually holding them in your wallet. But instead you can come to this protocol Meme and you can stake them and earn some pineapples, and then when you can use these pineapples to buy like some exclusive NFTs, so you can get some fresh art. Now this is also another interesting one called Audio or Audius. Now what they're trying to do is they're trying to connect users to musicians. So try to cut out the middleman, the record deal, the record labels and so forth, and even things like Apple Music Store and all these kinds of things. They just want people to be able to pay artists directly for their music with this audio token, and there's a whole bunch of features in here, like they're basically allowed for tickets for live shows and live shows on the internet, of course. So this is very interesting. You can use the audio token obviously to pay for these kinds of things. Then we have the Muse token. Now what the Muse is doing is trying to make NFTs a little bit more liquidable, so a little easier to trade. So an NFT is basically a single token on the blockchain that is completely unique. So what they're trying to do is what this does is it allows you to turn your NFT into an ERC20 token, which is now no longer non-fungible and is tradable with other NFTs ERC20 tokens. So there's basically what you will do is you will put your token, your NFT, into some sort of locking mechanism into a vault, and you will get some ERC20 tokens that are equal to the value of that token, and you will then be able to sell them, and basically it's a way to sell your NFTs, and then other people can buy those ERC20 Muse tokens, and they can come back to Muse and buy from the vaults that have all the NFTs in there, if you understand that kind of. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Next one we have Decentraland. So Decentral Games. And Decentral Games is basically like an online casino. So you would use your DG tokens to come here and gamble in real games. Okay, now there's some interesting things here is that they've actually hired real people to work these casinos. So there's actual live people who have part-time jobs where they stand here and they play the game with you. You get it, right? Okay, moving down, so we have Terra Virtual Collect and TVK. Now Terra Virtual is kind of more like a NFT thing again, but they have a lot of licensing agreements with big companies. So they're going to do like the King Kong versus Godzilla and, you know, Paramount Pictures and Legendary. So they have some, they're trying to, you know, connect the real big money world things of entertainment to the blockchain in that sense. Okay. And we have NFTX. Now NFTX is very similar to the Muse in that they're trying to create liquidity and allow NFTs to be more tradable and use like a Uniswap LP to do this. Okay. Now Worldwide Asset Exchange is very similar to these ones as well. They're trying to, but they're using a layer 2 system where they have their own, basically like their own blockchain, and you can buy the WAX on Ethereum and use that token to, you know, bridge it over to the actual blockchain that they're running and turn it into wax tokens and use those to deal with the NFTs that are for sale on that platform there. Now the Rev is very special as well. It's a kind of licensed and officially licensed racing games, and the Rev tokens allows you to, you know, enter races, and if you enter races you can actually win actual Rev tokens, and Rev tokens have monetary value, so you can sell those Rev tokens if you win. So it's a way of actually playing video games, playing racing video games, winning racing video. If you win, you get rewards and you can cash those in for real money. And you can also do other things like buy NFTs or maybe buy a new car or something, or I'm not exactly sure all the things you can do, but anyhow, so that pretty much covers it. This pretty much all of the things in here. I think it's a pretty good, interesting idea. It's definitely a better way than going and trying to buy up all of these tokens. You just come to the Uniswap pool here. You just go to Uniswap and look for MVI token, and you can just purchase that, and you know you will get some exposure to all of these different kinds of ideas and these different ecosystem and this metaverse. So they will rebalance this token based on these criterias and these calculations and so forth, and you know they will take care of it and try to keep the chart going up, or at least staying stable. Okay, so anyhow, I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, you know, feel free to hit up these guys, because I can't answer you much more than what I've said today. You know, come to their Discord, come to their forums, ask questions there. They're quite active. They're very, very this team of Index Coop is very active and very good and very helpful. So you can definitely come and ask them lots of questions and get a better idea. I will link to all of these things in the description below, and you can come and read it more carefully, read through these, and get a better understanding of what I've given you today. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.